hand it to her? To Jen?
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Monsieur. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much,
You
sir.
can try again after, okay?
My name is Jennifer. I know a lot of you. My daughter is Emily, and she's on the severe end of the spectrum. And she's been waiting for almost 2 years for services. So definitely, when we were told that there was nothing really at the end of that wait list, that was pretty devastating for our family. We are encouraged by the fact that the government is not pausing the plan, but they're rethinking in response to the pressure that we've put on. We are not professional protesters, but I think the sad thing is that as autism parents, we're all too used to having to advocate for our children and fight for what our children need and deserve. So if that makes us political protesters or professional protesters, I think that's just an artifact of our experiences thus far. I think the funding levels that they've proposed so far are so grossly inadequate for kids like my daughter. She ideally would need about 30 hours a week of therapy, and we pay out of pocket for 10, and that's still grossly insufficient for her needs. I wrote a letter to essentially every MPP in Ontario, I spammed them, and told them essentially what does it look like when you don't provide enough funding to kids on the spectrum. And it's very similar to what our experience right now is, which is that we need to pick and choose with our therapists essentially what life skills our kids are going to be able to develop. So things like I would love for my daughter to be able to write or draw, but things like fine motor skills are not, they're not a priority. Because things like learning how to talk to somebody or interact with somebody is a bigger priority. So I think that we have a lot to fight for. It's the well-being of our children, and so we won't stop fighting because as parents we can't stop fighting. So I guess my message to Lisa McLeod is, we're still watching what you're doing, and what you've announced is good, but not good enough. Including things like speech and OT is great, but if we have completely inadequate funding levels, then it doesn't matter how many options in the world we have. We don't have enough funds to actually use those services. So I think, to all of you, thank you for coming, and I support you as you support me, and hey, we're all relentless, and we will continue fighting until our children get what they need and what they deserve, which is needs-based funding. So we're still here.